Most coaches lose leads because they don't really have a well structured system that will help them track leads. So sometimes leads fill their form and they get lost. There's no way to track the leads, there's no way to follow up with them, and there's no way to really score leads to know the particular leads you should work with as a coach. So I built this automation to solve that problem. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how I built it, step by step way I built this automation so you can replicate it and build it for your own coaching business. Or even as an automation expert, you can also build this automation and pitch it to coaching business. So let's go straight right into the video and let me explain to you how I built this auto. Hi everyone, my name is Ada Victoria Wale and welcome to my YouTube channel. So over here in my YouTube channel, I post automation videos, freelancing tips, and other important videos you wouldn't want to miss. So every week I post here. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your post notification. So let's go straight right into explaining each of the model I built. So this automation has three scenarios. So this is the first scenario, which is the main lead system. So firstly, there is a tally form. The tally form is what the leads feel if they are interested in your services. So the trigger is the tally form. And I'm going to quickly show you what the tally form looks like. So here is where the automation gets started. This is the first place the lead gets to fill. So you book your discovery call and we have this various field, the full name, the email, the what's your current and every other thing that is here. So how do you create this? You just go to your Google search and you search for tally form. And when you search for tally form, you're just going to create all this field. It is very easy to create. I feel like tally form is one of the easiest form to create your whatever you want to create with it. So that is just how you're going to create this form. And this is the first thing you're going to do. Then you come back to your make.com. So of course, if you don't have a make.com account, just sign up to a make.com account. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to add your tally form, and the tally form you're going to connect the tally form. It's not hard to add. When you create the tally form, you're just going to take the webhook from here and you're going to impute it into the webhook in the tally form. Just get to your tally form and you're going to see how to connect it. So the first trigger you're going to add here is your tally form. So automatically when someone fill this form, the response automatically is going to come to make.com. Now, after you're done with that, the second module you want to add is your Airtable. But before you add this Airtable module, first off, you need to go and create an Airtable account. If you don't have an Airtable, if you have an Airtable account, what you're going to do is just to create a base. When you create a base, you can name it whatever name you want to name the base. And then you're going to create a table. Just one table is enough because I just use one table. It depends. If you want to add more things to the automation, you can actually create another table. So when you create a table, these are the different fields you're going to be creating. Now, these data here are demo data. These are not real data. So no details about a real client's information is used in this automation. So the first field you're creating is the full name. The next field is the email. The next one, exactly whatever that is in your tally form over here is what you're going to be replicating in your Airtable. So you're going to create first field, full name, email, what's your current business role, what's your current role stroke business, what are you hoping to get out of your coaching, and these are the various fields that are there: business growth, career change, confident mindset, productivity, and other. Then how soon are you looking to start? ASAP, within a month, and just exploring. This how soon are you going to start is what you're going to be using to score the lead. So for those that selected ASAP, they have a score of 80. While those that selected within a month have a score of 50. And those that selected just exploring have a score of 20. This is to this is for the business owner to know, okay, this particular lead is a very hot lead and a serious person that want to do business with me. So that is why this is what you're going to use to score the lead. Then the next one is, have you worked with a coach before? Which is just a drop down, yes or no. And that's exactly what you're going to be creating in your Airtable. If you watch, that is just what I created here. These are the fields I created. Then another additional field I added is this lead score. Now the lead score is going to be automatically populated using the automation, and we're going to get to that place. So you will create a lead score field, which is a number field, and then you create your status. The status is what you're also going to use to really visualize, okay, this particular lead has been scored, this is a new lead, and the rest. So you're going to just create status with new, scored. Maybe you can just ignore these ones. You can just use new and scored. So whenever they fill that form and their lead is this lead score is being populated, their status is going to say score, so that you know that this particular lead have actually been scored with a particular score. So then the next thing you're going to add this field. This is a checkbox field. Now this is used to let us know that email 1 has been sent, email 2 has been sent, email 3 has been sent, because this is also, apart from the fact that we are scoring this lead, we are also creating an email sequence. We want to send an email to these leads 3 times so that they won't get cold. So after we send the first email, which is the general welcome email, we are sending a second lead to follow up with them, and we're sending a third email to follow up with them. And then we have an email reply field. Whenever they reply their email, this is going to be manually checked that they have replied that email. Then you're going to create a created time field. This is automatically created in Airtable. Just click on this plus sign over here and look for created time. So it's going to tell you exactly the time each lead is created. Now, the last one, the second to the last, is the lead contacted. The lead contacted is giving you the time that you contacted that lead last. That is the the last contacted field, and this will also be populated from the automation. I'm going to be showing you that. Then we have a formula field over here. This formula field is telling us the status of the lead score. For example, if the lead score over here, if the lead selected that they want a coaching consultation ASAP, their lead score is going to be 80, and automatically over here they are going to be termed as hot lead. Let me show you the formula so you can also use it for your automation. So let me show you what the formula looks like. So this is what the formula looks like. So it said if lead score is equals to 80, it should say hot lead. Otherwise, it should say cold lead. So any score that is 80, we say hot lead. And immediately it says hot lead, is going to be sending a Slack message to the team or the coach herself, because she wants to be able to know that, okay, this particular person is a hot lead. So there's actually an automation that is running that in Airtable. I didn't create that automation in make.com. So I'm going to quickly show you what that automation looks like in Airtable. So here's what the automation looks like. So it says when a record matches condition, if lead score is hot lead. So we are only working with the hot leads. So when the lead score, which is the formula, says hot lead, they are going to automatically send a message to the Slack channel. Let's go back to our automation and let's explain how our automation works. So here's back to our automation. Now, after you're done creating your table and your base in Airtable, the next step you're going to create is the next module you're going to add is create a record. So whenever someone's fill a form, automatically their record is going to be created in Airtable. Now there's a router. A router is like a filter, but a filter that have different options. So you're going to add a router. So when you add a router, the first branch you're going to be adding is an update record module. Now, what do you want to update? You want to be able to, let me open it and explain what it does. So let me open that. When you click on the update a record module, this is what you're going to be able to set. So first off, you pick your base, you pick your lead, and you pick your record ID. The record ID you're picking is from your create a record step. Okay. Now when you do that, you're going to scroll down to what you want to update. What updating? We want to update that we want to first of all update the lead score, because if the person selected ASAP, the lead score is going to be 80. So it will go to Airtable and populate the lead score field with 80, and then it will change the status to scored, so that you know that this particular lead has been scored. That is the first step you're going to add after you add a router. Now, the second one is if the person selects within a month, they are going to be scored 50. Now, when they select within a month, they're going to be scored 50 in the lead score field in Airtable, and then their status is also going to be changed to scored. Likewise, the same thing for the next one. If the person selected just exploring, is also the same thing. It's going to be, they'll be scored with 20. This is for 50. This is for within a month. And then when they select just exploring, they are going to be scored 20, and it's going to populate in Airtable, and then their status is going to be changed to scored. Then after that, they are all going to get a welcome email. This is a welcome email. Let me open it and show you what it looks like. Now, this is what it looks like. This is like where the email is going to, and you're going to select your email from your tally, step here. Then you're going to write your subjects. So this is the subject, and then you're going to write the body, what you want to send to the clients. Now, this is like a welcome email, and this works for all the different status, even those that are selected ASAP and those that are selected within a month or just exploring, are going to get the same welcome email, because we want to first of all welcome them and tell them thank you for filling the form and the rest. Okay, now after that, we're going to be having an update record. Now, this update record, let me open that so you see what it does. Now, here is what this update record does. When you add the update record, you're going to select your base, you're going to select your table, and then you're going to select your record ID from the Airtable step over here. And then we're going to update a particular record. What are we updating? We want to go, and remember we created about 3 fields that are check mark. So we want to be able to say, okay, we want to update that the email sent field is check mark, which is yes. Like, here's what I mean. So when you open your Airtable, right? So here's what I was trying to explain. Over here in Airtable, it updates this. When the first email is sent, it come over here and click here. It change this to check marks. Okay. And if the second email is sent, change this to check mark, and then just vice versa. So that is just what this is doing. So you come over to email sent, and then you click on this yes. Okay. So it updates this to check mark. Okay. And that is what you're going to be doing also for the others. So even if they select within a month, Lauren, we want to check it that okay, they since they selected this option, their email 1 has been sent, and that is all you have to do for this process. Okay, now we'll go back to the second scenario. Now, here is what the second scenario looks like. This is a lead follow-up for email 2. Now, what happens in this scenario? The first one, you first of all grab your search record Airtable model. We want to search. What are we using to search? We want to search if a particular lead in Airtable, their email sent field has been checked, and also their last contacted date is 3 days ago. That is the formula that is here. So you can actually write down this formula while you're looking at it. So it says, and email 1 is sent, not email 2. So email 2 is not checked, and email reply is not checked, and is before last contacted 3 days ago. So if email 1 is sent for a particular record, and 3 days ago is the last time you've contacted with this client or with this lead, then email 2 automation lead follow-up system should fire, and that is just what you're going to be using for this search record. So this formula is very important, because this formula that is going to go to Airtable and check is email 1 is sent, right? Yes. Email 2 is not sent, and email reply is not sent. Then this, and email 3 also is not sent. and this search record model is going to bring out a record for you. Now, what is the next one? The next one is an iterator. So what does an iterator do? An iterator loops through items. Okay, so for example, now this search record go to Airtable and checks, and it sees that about 3 or 4 of the leads, their last contacted days was 3 days ago, and their first email has been sent. It can't just grab all of them and send them automatically to Gmail. No, Gmail is going to get confused. Why are you giving me so much information? How am I going to send each of the email one by one? So that is why we need to put this guy here, the green guy. Yes. So we add our iterator. So our iterator is going to loop through each of them and is going to send them one by one to Gmail so that they are going to get their own personal Gmail. Then of course you add your Gmail module. So let me just open this, what the iterator looks like. This is what the iterator looks like. And how do you map it out? You just grab the array. Remember, anything that is in a square bracket is an array. So you just grab this search record here and then you add it here, and that is all what you just be mapping. And then the next module you're adding is your Gmail module. Now your Gmail module, you just going to, it's just the same thing we did in the first scenario. You're going to add your tool who you are sending it to, which is your email. You're going to add your subject, and then you're going to click here. When you click this place, make sure you select collection of content, not raw HTML. Okay, and then you're going to add the body of your email. Okay, and that is just what you're going to do for that. And then you're going to update your record. What do we want to update? We want to update that email to field has been sent. So we want to check that out. Okay, so you check mark email to sent, and then you change the last contacted date to now. Let me explain that to you in Airtable. So when email 2 is sent, it's going to come over here and check email 2 sent, and then it's going to change the last contacted date here to the current date. Remember that what will be here is like the dates you have last contacted with them, which is like 3 days ago. So it's going to change this place to the current date because it's that day that you have sent email to. So that is just that for how this second scenario works. So we'll go over to the third scenario, which is the lead follow-up for email 3. Now, this is for email 3. Email 3 has almost the same setup with email 2 scenario, but the difference is in the formula. They are not different, the same formula. So when you come over here, you select your base, you select your lead, and then you select your view. If you have any view, you have to specify the view, and then you add your formula. Now look at the formula for to sending email 3 sequence, and email 2 is sent. So number 1 is email 2 has to be checked, and email 3 sent field has not been checked. Email reply field has not been checked, and before, that's the last contacted date, is 3 days ago. This is the criteria that it has to set. So you add a search record Airtable model, and then you add this formula. Okay, you can copy this out and use it. Then you now add an iterator. Remember, it has to iterate through each of the record, and then you send an email, and then you update the record. Now what are we updating? It's just the same thing with what we did. Okay, we update email 3, we check it, and then we change this last contacted date to that same day that this email 3 was checked. And that is how you have built a powerful lead scoring system for your clients. Now we're going to quickly test this automation and see how it works. I'm going to be manually triggering it because if you create this automation, is going to wait. Okay, now I forgot to add something. Now email 2 runs every day by 9 o'clock. You have to set this schedule. So you just come over here and set a schedule. You schedule it to run daily. Okay, so it runs daily at 9 o'clock. So at 9 o'clock, it goes to search the Airtable base. It search, is there a lead that their email 1 has been sent and the email 2 has not been sent, and also the last contacted date is 3 days ago. It checks, and when it sees, this automation runs. The same thing happens for this email 3 every day at night. Every day it checks for those, or those that their email 2 has been sent and email 3 has not been sent, and then their email is sent and their Airtable record is updated. Now we're going to test this first scenario. So we're quickly going to go to tally form over here, and we're going to add a random, just a normal random data. So let's use, what are we going to be using? Let's use Sandra. Let's use Sandra. Sandra. Sandra Williams. Let's use Sandra Williams. And then I'm going to be using my email. So this is just my email because I want you to see the message that will be sent. So I'm going to say, okay, what is your current role through business? I'm going to be saying fashion. What are you hoping to get out of the coaching business group? Remember, you can always customize this to how you want your business to be or how you want your client's business is. So how soon are you looking to start? I'm going to say ASAP. And then, how have you worked with any coach before? I'm going to say no. No. Now, before we submit this, let's go and trigger this automation so that it's going to get this record automatically. So we're going to say run once. Just click on run once. Now it's waiting for data. Now let's go and submit that automation, our form, sorry. So I'll click on submit here. Remember the name Sandra Williams. So we'll go back to here. Now let's go and check our Airtable if we have that Sandra Williams already. Let's refresh this. Now, as you can see, automatically Sandra Williams is here and her data is here. Now, can you see something? Can you see that her lead score is automatically 80? Because I told you, if you select ASAP that you are looking to start ASAP, it's going to say 80 and your status is called. Okay, and do you see that the email sent is checked? So email 1 is sent, right? Now let's go. And do you see that the lead score is now hot lead? Do you see? Now the lead score is now hot lead. Now this last contacted, now you can now change this last contacted to that date, the date that you sent this email. You now have to impute it. Now let's go and check our email if you actually receive an email from this. Now, as you can see, we got the email for Sandra Williams. So, hi, Sandra Williams. And also, remember, we are also adding our Calendly link in all of the message because, of course, the main reason we are sending them these emails, we're sending this follow-up is for them to actually book a call and work with us. So, this is the first scenario, and that is how other scenarios are also going to work. Okay. Now we're going to test the second scenario. Let's go back to Airtable. Let's go back to Airtable. And then we're going to change this to be 3 days ago. We want to change the date to be 3 days ago so that that second automation is going to run. So we're going to just change this to 14. So that's going to calculate 3 days from today. So we're just going to click run once. So do you see? Now let's go and check our Airtable. If our email 2 is checked, I'll go back to our Airtable. Good. Can you see our email 2 is sent, is checked, and our last contacted date has been updated with the current date. Okay, so that is just how this second scenario works, and that is also how the third scenario works. So the third scenario is also going to wait to check if email 2 is sent and last contacted is 3 days, then is now going to trigger. Remember, there is a schedule trigger that always check it every day by 9 o'clock. So this is just how this automation works. This automation is a very important automation for coaching business, and also other type of business can also use this automation. So if you're into coaching business and you need something like this built for you, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn name is Ada Victoria Wali, and you can also reach out to me my email. You can check the description in this my my YouTube and you can see my information. And if you're an automation freelancer, you can actually build this yourself and pitch it out to people that are into coaching business, or you can even customize this automation to fit into any business. So here is where we're going to be ending this video for today. I hope you learned something. Please like this video and comment below, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on your post notification bell for our next video. So see you. Thank you very much for watching. Bye. Mwah.